Hello, I'm kind of waiting for my lawyer to show up so I can give him money, and you know. But I figured I have a couple minutes, so I'll solve the problem of quantum physics. Quantum physics is a mistake. The entirety of the science. It's based on the notion that things disappear, reappear, things that we don't understand. They're calling things they don't understand. Allow me to solve this real easily. Quantum physics is better explained by a fourth dimension, pure and simple. For example, an electron that appears to have dual spin and only it has two parts. One spins right, one spins left. If you identify that one part is left, the other is obviously right. And you only know this when you detect it, because they are changed when you detect them. So that tells us a lot of things. That tells us that electrons are four-dimensional objects interacting in our three dimensions. It tells us why they appear and reappear where they do. It tells us why they behave they do. It also explains entanglement. It also explains instantaneousness of movement of things. It explains a lot of things. Now I want you to verify this for yourself with a small thought experiment that you can visualize, or you can do it yourself. Take some kind of a ring, a donut or something like that, and cut it in half and put it on a piece of paper, and try to imagine what that looks like to the piece of paper. It looks like two little circles, or two little impressions, whatever the shape of your ring is. And if it's going in one direction, then it's going to look like it's spun one way on one side and the other way the other side. So when you observe it, you're going to see just that, two electrons of different things. But what you're looking at actually is a ring that's three-dimensional. So what you're doing is you're reducing this whole thing by one dimension. You're reducing it so that you can perceive this, because you exist in three dimensions, actually 2.5, but you exist in three dimensions, so you can't perceive things in four dimensions. So you have to reduce everything by one, so you need to see what a three-dimensional electron would look like in two dimensions. And what it looks like in two dimensions is a three-dimensional object that's a ring. You look at it bisected by a plane, and you see two dots, two circles. And if you were to look at how they were wound, one would be wound one way, one would be wound the other way. If the whole thing was spinning, it would appear like one side was spinning one way and the other side was spinning the other, because the whole thing is spinning the same direction, and one side's opposite side of the other. So now apply that to four dimensions. We see in two dimensions two electrons. What is it in four dimensions? It's a ring. It's a connection. But we don't know what these four dimensions look like. We don't know what dimensions are. Take the same piece of paper that you made these two dots on, or that you press this thing on, and I gotta go now. My lawyer's here, but do that same thing, and I can't remember what I was gonna say. Anyway, that's quantum physics for you. It's completely debunked now. It doesn't exist as they explain it, because it's four-dimensional physics. Electrons and other particles exist in four dimensions. Oh, and by the way, dark matter is the substrate upon which the universe exists, and it's a four-dimensional particle. So that's why it has so much mass and you can't detect it. Okay, goodbye.